Hi everyone, Bernard here with the latest Citizen vlog, and it's a City present, isn't it? We're looking forward to the game at the Bridge, at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea versus Manchester City on the 25th of June 2020, 8:15 PM. So we're going to have a quick look at that today and have a quick look at the Twitterverse as well, anything interesting on Twitter, and obviously a couple of talking points I just want to go through with you today. And please feel free to leave your comments below, etc. It's great when you leave stuff, and thumbs ups are always nice as well. If your views are nice, but thumbs ups are nice anyway. Please, if you're new to the Citizen channel, and obviously if you know I do my history vlogs as well, please push that old subscribe button there in the corner, tell your friends, that'd be fantastic. And please make sure you push your notifications to public so you know any of these little videos and vlogs are coming out. A lot of present ones at the moment. Obviously there's a few history ones in the pipeline that I'm going to be putting out, but as we kick into August, obviously there won't perhaps be as many history ones as there are present ones, but obviously that's due to the current circumstances, isn't it? So yeah, Chelsea. When did we play them last? Well, we played them in November, didn't we? 23rd of November 2019 at the Etihad, a 2-1 win. And if you remember, we actually fell behind in that one, so we went behind, and but by half time we were winning 2-1 with goals from KDB and Mahrez. So and it turned out like that as well. I think it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't the most prolific City performance. I mean, possession. Look at possession. City had 43%. Chelsea, sorry, 47%. Chelsea had 53%. So I think that was probably one of the first times ever we were outdone on possession by Chelsea. We'll have a little talk about Chelsea in a minute. Obviously, stats-wise, I think we had 17 shots, 9 on target, and Chelsea just had 4 shots, 2 on target. So they weren't as prolific, perhaps up front, but we did let them have a lot of the ball, and I think it was a deserved win. I think 2-1. Yeah, I mean the last time we played them at Stamford Bridge was back in 2018 on Christmas time, 8th of December 2018, and that was our first defeat in the league of the season when we lost 2-0. That was a pretty disastrous game, even though Pep commented at the time he thought we were fantastic and brilliant, but unfortunately we lost 2-0, and although we did have 61% of the possession in that one, obviously that was before Mr. Frank Lampard joined, wasn't it? That was the other guy. I think we had was it 14 shots and 4 on target to Chelsea's 8 and 5 on target. So we probably deserved a little bit better than a 2-0 defeat, but I remember at the time it being a little bit depressing. And what's our record like at the Bridge? It's not fantastic, to be honest with you. If you look at our total record, we've actually lost 37 times at Stamford Bridge, and we've drawn 22, which isn't too bad, and we've won just 15, so that's actually a win and draw combination of 37, which equals obviously the 37 we've lost. So our biggest away win was in 1978-79, I do remember that one, a 4-1 win, and our biggest away loss was a 6-0. I think we got revenge for that, didn't we? Quite recently, but we lost 6-0 in 2007, 2008. Well, that was a horrible game. If you remember that one, that was so depressing. Yeah, Chelsea, they're currently 4th in the league as I'm recording this. So there's games today. I'm obviously recording this on the Wednesday, the 24th of June. So there are games today, but they can't be overtaken. But they're currently in 4th. On 51 points, so they're just 12 points behind City. We played the same number of games, and they're actually 5 points ahead of United and Wolves. So they do need to sort of try and get something out of this, and it won't be an easy game. Let's be honest about it. Current form, well, all we can go off is they've played one game, haven't they? To beat Aston Villa, 2-1 at Villa Park. 74% possession for Chelsea, which is pretty amazing. 26% for Villa. They did have managed 18 shots in the total game, Chelsea. So that was not a bad impressive start, although not a bad start. Although Villa, not the greatest. I don't think they're the greatest that night. Prior to the lockdown, at home, the last 6 home games, he'd won 3 and drawn 3, which sort of more or less with the inconsistencies, really. I'm going to just talk about a little bit in general about Chelsea. Obviously, we were beaten by United, Southampton and Bournemouth, but, they can score goals. I think this is it with Frank Lampard and Chelsea, just talking about them generally. There's a lot. I see a lot of stuff at the moment about going into the transfer market. Obviously, they've had the transfer, haven't they? So they're actually looking to invest in going to the transfer market now. And a lot of people think the defence is a little bit iffy. And there are a lot of comparisons to City, I think. I mean, on a different level. Obviously, I think City is still on a higher level, obviously. But there's a lot of, because they actually do create quite a lot of chances. And just like City, they don't always put them away. But obviously, where they get games where it all goes well for them, they can score 4 or 5, but obviously most of the time they don't put all those chances away, so they don't always convert them. They are entertaining. I think the second most entertaining behind City, to be honest with you, and the young players have done really well to step up this season. And obviously with all these transfer rumours, obviously some of these young players are going to be put on the back burner for a while, aren't they? Which is fair enough. It's too much. I mean, I've watched Chelsea a few times, certainly early on in the season, and they are a little bit naive at times, and they do lack that little bit of experience. But Frank's done pretty well with them. Frank Lampard's done pretty well with them. They've done well so far, and I think it'll be a really good test for City. I think I expect goals, to be honest with him. We'll go into the sort of the betting odds and what score I predict in a minute. I expect goals, but obviously I expect City to perhaps score at least one more than Chelsea. So, but it will be an interesting test for City and Chelsea. It will. I think it's one of the sort of best games so far that we're going to actually see. Chelsea against City, but yeah, I've been I'm not a big fan of Chelsea in general, but I was a sort of fan up to about 1971. I remember. I don't know. I had a Chelsea kit, and I've no image of it. I've got images of me in old City kits about the same time, 69, 70. But I did remember having a dark blue Chelsea kit, and I think it's because they won the Winners' Cup after us. But no love lost with them now, to be honest with you. Over the last few years, I've no real like for them or their fans. With the arrogance of I can't wait to win the Champions League and shove that song back in their faces about us we'll never win the Champions League. I mean, so what? I mean, I know it shouldn't get you down, but it's just annoying. It's just nice. It's just nice to sing it, won't it, back to them even when we do win the Champions League. Yeah, so City against Chelsea. Let's have a quick look at the betting, and I'll tell you my little prediction, what the betting is. These are sort of the best prices as at yesterday evening. So obviously that was Tuesday the 23rd, is it? I'm losing track now. Tuesday 23rd of June. These were the best prices. Obviously it was 10-3 on a Chelsea win. Best price, 16-5 on a draw, so similar sort of price, and 11-13 on for a City win. So not the shortest City odds on a victory. So I think the bookies have been quite clever there for both teams to score, which it's not a bad little bet, but it's 4-7 on. So I mean, you put £7 on, you get £11 back, but that's not a bad bet. Both teams to score, I wouldn't be surprised. The first scorer, obviously they've got the Aguero down, but obviously that's gonna go by the wayside, isn't it? Jesus, obviously they had Jesus to score. Sterling, Jesus was 9-2, so that might have come down now that Aguero's not playing. Sterling at 23-4, Sane 7-1, Mahrez 8-1. KDB 9-1, so some good scores there. I never usually do the first scorer, but obviously I don't know about Jesus. I've been more inclined to think Sterling's going to score if he's going to play. Yeah, I mean, we'll have a look at what I think the team might be in a bit. Obviously for Chelsea, Abraham's the Tammy Abraham's a favourite 7-1, with Giroud at 8-1. So I mean, I'd be more inclined to put money on Abraham than Giroud. Batshia, is it 8-1, and Broca 10-1. I don't know how you pronounce their names. To win the actual game, a City victory is 1-0 is 9-1. 3-1 is 14-1, and 2-1 is 8-1. So I'm sort of leaning towards City winning this 2-1. So nice 8-1 on there. Chelsea to win 1-0 is 16-1. Can't see that, but you never know. Chelsea to win 2-1 is 14-1, and Chelsea to win 3-1 is 35-1. So that's not a bad price, but. And the draw, 1-1 15-2, 0-0 is 16-1, and 2-2 is 14-1. So yeah, I think there will be goals. And obviously, I think I'm going to go for 2-1. I mean, it could even be 3-2. I've not checked out that thing, but 3-2 would be interesting because I say both teams do like to score. Not the greatest defensively. Just betting on Chelsea to finish in the top 4 is 8-15. That's not a bad price. Top 3 9-5. So they'd have to get past Leicester. probably not doable, although it's obviously it's odds against. So Chelsea top 4 finish, what, 8 to 15? I think that's pretty safe. Right, the team. Ooh, let's have a quick look. Let's see what you think about the team. Leave it in the comments. I mean, I think Edison's going to play, isn't he? I think we're going to have Walker. I don't think Otamendi will play. Laporte is going to play, isn't he? Fernandinho, I think, will play in this one. Mendy. Is Mendy going to make a comeback? I think Mendy could probably make a comeback for this. So that's sort of a back 5 there, isn't it? I think he's going to sit Rodri in front if Werner's playing centre half. It'd be interesting to see what he does with that, wasn't it? I don't think he'll play Foden. I mean, I'd love him to play Foden. I don't honestly think he'll play Foden. So I'm going to go for David Silva, Bernardo, and KDB there in the middle. And I think the sort of front three pick themselves, don't they, with Sterling, Mahrez and Jesus, I think, up front. I think that's the 11, isn't it? Hopefully, if you give more than 11, the team will be printed on the side of here anyway. So please forgive me. I forgot to write this down, so I'll sort of write this down. So, but it was interesting with that Aguero, wasn't it? Because we will miss Aguero, and I say, even though he's been looking half a yard space, he does leave us a little light up front. How long he's out for, we're not too sure, are we? But hopefully he'll come back. Just a little bit more Aguero in a minute. On Twitterverse, just have a quick look at Twitterverse. Yeah, that's City-Chelsea. I'm going for a 2-1 win for City. Let me know what you think. But I won't be surprised at a 3-2, and I won't be surprised at a draw or a Chelsea win, to be honest with you. It's early days, and we've played 2 great games. Well, it's a bit early, isn't it, to be finding out. But I'm fairly comfortable City will win that. Right, looking on the Twitterverse, at City Report _ they have gone on to say the Carabao Cup next season, whenever that starts or whenever it is will be without the 7 UEFA teams, which will be a shame. I mean, that's more or less the end of the Carabao Cup then, isn't it? Because, you know, I think that's sort of that's what they're trying to do anyway. I think they're trying to make it so it's I think it's fair enough. I mean, when it first started out as a League Cup, obviously it was like invitation, wasn't it? It was clubs decided whether they wanted to go in it or not, and I think it may end up like that. So it's a great shame. It's our cup, isn't it? So there you go. So that's an interesting thing. At Gab Jesus 9, I mean, you were looking. It was the Arsenal fans, wasn't it? Were whinging about City having obviously these fans in the background, and there's a couple of Arsenal fans were commenting that obviously we had a couple of spaces on it with a Sky logo as opposed to somewhat a supporter's face. But it's interesting that the Arsenal ones had the same fans sort of in a couple of slots, you know, so you got room to talk. But I mean, you know, at the end of the day, who can be bothered going on those things anyway? I'm sure some people will, but I wouldn't want to sit there on camera and, I mean, you know, what everyone watching my machinations while I'm watching the game anyway. At Stu Brennan MEN, a couple of things. Obviously, I think Collymore commented that he thought Klopp was better than Pep. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, Stuart Brennan was having a bit of dig at that. So, I think Collymore qualifies for my WWW award, my Wet Wipe of the Week award for that comment. Although there's a couple of more people could have got it this week. But I think Stan Collymore probably deserves it this week. On what planet can Klopp be considered better than Pep? I have no idea. Also, Stu Brennan MEN, at Stu Brennan MEN. Phil Foden obviously commented that there was a comment that Phil Foden needs to play more to get an England place. And I thought, you know, I'm sure it's just because he plays for City. If he'd played for United, as soon as he played one game, I'm sure he would have been in the England squad, because that's how it seems to work, or for Liverpool. So I think that's just an excuse, really. But obviously, hopefully, Pep will play him more, and Mr. Southgate won't have any excuses, will he? He'll have to stick him in there, because he's probably one of the best we've got at that position, if not the best at the moment. So, yeah, Phil Foden should be playing. At City Report, yeah, they commented on Edison. Obviously, these obviously against Burnley, a couple of great long passes, didn't he? Arsenal as well, was it? And he just said it's natural, which it probably is. I mean, he doesn't have to practice. You don't have to practice as a footballer. I mean, you're just instinctively doing it in practice anyway, or whatever. I mean, I used to be, you know, I did play out for my little teams, amateur teams, Saturdays and Sunday games, but I did play in goal my latter parts of my my career, and I was quite good at throwing out. I could probably hit a man up to 50, 60 yards from a long throw, you know, and set things up that way. And I didn't have to practice. I was working, so I couldn't go practicing it. And even when we had training sessions, it wasn't something I practiced. You just did it as and when you needed to do it. I think Edison, yeah, that's he just does it as and when he needs to do it, and he sees a possibility of setting up an attack. So that's fair enough. At Man City. Yeah, I mean, this is Man City's own chat. The launch of the City chat, obviously, that was quite interesting. I did actually sort of tune in for a couple of minutes after the Burnley game, but I was obviously just going straight to bed because I'm up early. So, and it was working, but it's quite funny because when I saw the first link, I did try it twice, and it came up as 404 error code. So I thought that was quite funny, obviously linking to Matt, especially with the thing the other day I talked about having the worst broadband in the Premier League, the broadband speed. I mean, I did find that quite funny that the first time I tried to log on to City Chat, obviously I got an error code 404. I thought that was quite funny, but anyway, it seems to be working okay now, so have a look at that. If you know, there's a lot more independent ones that I think are far better, but if you want to have a look at the City or authorised one, that's there. That's Oily Sailor. Yeah, he commented, a few people have commented on this, that 5+ goals in a Premier League game since Ferguson retired. City have done it 26 times. United have done it once. But, I mean, they're no real competition for us at the moment, apart from when we play and when they beat us, Eddie. So, yeah, I mean, it just gets more and more, doesn't it? I mean, that just shows sort of football we've been playing. So just a couple of talking points. Yeah, I mean, we mentioned Aguero. I believe he's going to Barcelona to have a knee operation now. So some people are optimistic he should be back for the Champions League. But we know Aguero, don't we? If he does come back for that, he takes a few games to get going. So even if he does come back, he might be an impact thing from the bench. But we're certainly not going to see the best of him, whatever happens if he comes back. But I mean, I'm more or less decided now that he'll be out for the season as such, and you know, we'll just have to rethink our strategy on obviously false nines, etc. Won't he? Pep will certainly have a go at something. Yeah, so that's Aguero, which is a great shame, but he didn't really look up for it when he came on the other night, I don't think. And the other thing, obviously the banner, wasn't it? The banner at Burnley. I mean, it's pathetic. I mean, some people got more money than sense. Obviously, they have to. You know, so I said someone saying the pilot should be arrested. Wouldn't the pilot just be doing his job? I mean, obviously these things are. It's not the pilot's idea to throw the banner, is it? The pilot's usually the guy who's obviously done, but obviously he could have perhaps said, "I'm not going to do it, boss," and get sacked. But there you go. But I mean, I've seen some people blame, but it's not nothing to do with the pilot, is it? But I just think it was cringeworthy, and obviously it was interesting to see all the Burnley players and football club coming out against it, which is fair enough. But I mean, I can't see the point. I say more money than sense. Some people are just absolute idiots. So that was about it on the talking point. Well, that's that today. The Chelsea. A quick look at the Chelsea. Let me know what you think about the chances against Chelsea. I will be back on Friday the 26th with a review of the Chelsea game, so that'll be another Citizen present. But before that, tomorrow 25th of June, there's a little special on Jim Told Me I'll be putting out as a history vlog, so please check back with that. On Saturday, there'll be a couple of vlogs out. I'll be doing a review of the preview of the game against Newcastle. Yes, the FA Cup's back. I forgot all about that till I checked the fixture list. That's back on the 28th, and I think we've got an early evening kickoff, so at least I'll be able to get some sleep before work the next day. So I'll be back on Saturday 26th with a review of that. But also I've got a little thing on Mike Doyle coming out. He passed away sadly on the 27th of June. So obviously I've got a little special on the Mike Doyle testimonial game, a little bit about Mike Doyle that'll be coming also out on the 27th of June, Saturday 27th of June, another history vlog on Mike Doyle, so that'll be there. So please keep your eyes, push that notification so you know these little things are coming out. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Please follow me on Twitter. The links will be on the screen or in the comments below, and I'm on Facebook as well. So just check me on Facebook at Bernardine. I'm just on the Bernardine on Facebook. And please check out my little website, moviegamenostalgia.com, where I sell old and rare DVDs, movie posters and board games. If you can have a look at there, thumbs up to you. Much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Thanks for joining me. Please, whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. Let's all look after each other. And hopefully you'll join me again for one of these little vlogs very, very soon. This is Bird saying goodbye for now. Bye bye.